Space. It's a topic that really interests me. I love learning about solar systems and stars. It's really fascinating how all of this just exists in a black void of nothing but space. My point is, I love space, and I'm going to ramble on about it for the next 15 minutes. So you know the solar system has 9 planets, right? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. Well, for those of you that know, you can immediately cross Pluto off. As in 2006, Pluto was found to be too small and its orbit too irregular for it to be considered a planet. So it got put under the new classification of dwarf planet. And can we just talk about how small Pluto is? Pluto is miniature compared to all of the other planets. Pluto is smaller than its own moon. And not only smaller than some of the planets in the system, but smaller than our moon. It's smaller than our moon. Pluto is so gosh darn small that when you make the data out, it's nearly the same size as Australia. Tell that to your burning eucalyptus trees and horrid insects. Also, I know people say this a lot, but space is enormous. And that alone is an understatement. I could be boring and kill the imagination by just giving you numbers like actual scientists, but there's actually a demonstration of just how vast and open space is. To demonstrate just how far away each planet is, we need to go from the sun at light speed. At light speed from the sun, it would take approximately 3.2 minutes to get to Mercury, 6 minutes to get to Venus, 8.3 minutes to get to Earth, 12.8 minutes to get to Mars, and get this, 43.3 minutes to get to Jupiter, 1 hour and 19 minutes to get to Saturn, straight up 2 hours and 39 minutes to get to Uranus, and 4 hours and 10 minutes to get to Neptune. So if you didn't understand just how big space is, there is your evidence. It's huge. The solar system is awesome, from the scorching hot world of Mercury to the cold, frigid blue whirlwind of Neptune. I love it all. But before I dive into the next topic of the video, let's talk moons. Jupiter's moons. So Jupiter and all its gassy brothers are non-terrestrial planets, meaning it's gas. You can't step on gas. You can't land on gas, America. You can't just step on a ball of giant gas. But there is a second option. Satellites. And don't let that get you any ideas. Don't know if you know, but every single gas giant has at least 10 moons. 10! And for the majority of them, they're pretty friendly. So there's obviously more, but for the sake of my small brain to handle, I'm going to simplify those 80 plus moons into just a few. Say hello to my Jupiter friends, Europa, Ganymede, Io, Castillo, Amalthea, Metis, Himilia, Elara, and Comet. And don't get me started on the others. Okay, there's actually not that much. Saturn has moons. The only ones I care about are my boys Triton, Enceladus, and Metis, which looks like the Death Star. And then there's Uranus, your big old anus, with its windy world of Miranda. Uranus. Oh, such a classic. And then there's my favourite blue whirly wonder, Neptune, with its own world of Triton. So why am I so interested in landing on their moons? Because most of these moons, they have found water. Don't believe me? Look no further than Ganymede, liquid lakes, Europa, huge streams of water, Triton with volcanoes, mountains, water bodies, and Triton has cryovolcanoes. Ice volcanoes! Just how interesting would it be to have a volcano that spits out ice? Could you even imagine that? They're so beautiful, these wonderful celestial bodies floating in this never-ending void we call space. I can almost hear the harmony they compose. Segueing into the next topic. Every planet and every satellite I've talked about today can make harmonies, sounds, songs even. Well, not quite. NASA used the garbled radio waves that planets were transmitting and translated them into sounds. Planet sounds! This is how advanced technology is nowadays. We can hear what planets sound like. So I'm going to be reacting to some of these sounds, and let's hear what some of these planets really have to say. I want to see what these planets sound like. So let's just dive straight into this. Already kind of sounds a bit frightening. Yikes. That is some tarnishing wind right there. Mercury is demonstrating a pure demonstration of hurling wind. That is like the inside of a tornado kind of noise, you know? Like, it's kind of like when that kid has the broken mic and is just blowing into it. That's kind of the vibe that Mercury's giving me here. Not gonna lie. Alright, next up is the orange fiery depths of Venus. Let's see what this one sounds like. Okay, not even gonna lie, Venus just kind of sounds a bit like a boiler room, you know, but with a boiler room with massive amounts of reverb. You know that kind of sound? I live, my room is actually above the kitchen where the boiler is, so I can hear the boiler go off at night. It scares the living crap out of me. But this sound that Venus kind of makes sounds like a boiler. Not even gonna lie. I mean, it's really interesting, the noise it makes, actually. It sounds pretty cool. Much cooler than Mercury, for definite. I don't want to hear that loud kid blowing into his mic again. Hopefully it won't show up again in any of the other planets. But yeah, Venus sounds pretty cool. Alright, next up is the blue wonder of the Earth. Let's hear what our home sounded like the whole time. And not even gonna lie, Earth sounds exactly the same way I thought Earth would sound like. I mean, it just sounds like a bunch of aeroplanes, motors, things going off in the world. If you were to combine every sound on Earth, I am pretty sure you would get this. It fits this planet really well. And it just goes to show how loud this planet is. Holy hell. Alright, so next up is our good old lunar friend, the Moon. Let's hear what the Moon had to say the whole time. Oh. It's a existential crisis void. Well, the Moon sounds slightly terrifying and boring and kind of reminds me of an abyss, so let's just move on to Mars. Boy, Elon, are you gonna have to get used to this sound in a few years. Okay, same kind of vibes as the Moon so far, and that's actually kind of creepy. What the hell was that? Was that like an insect making a chattering noise? This one's kind of scaring me a little. It sounds a bit like an alien desert. Don't even gonna lie, alien desert vibes going on here. Well, that was something. I'm a little worried about that. But let's just move on to Phobos, which is Mars' tiny little friend. Oh my gosh. What the? Why does it sound like a computer cheering? Like, it sounds like a computer was, you know, cheering for something. But it's like having an error at the same time. That's kinda creepy. It's much creepier than the planet, surprisingly, but still, what the hell, Phobos? I didn't expect that. I expected that from Mars, thank you very much. Well, let's move on to our bigger brother planet, Jupiter. Let's see what Jupiter has to say. Not even gonna lie, this is creepy. I kinda like this. I mean, it sounds a little like a gong bell in the middle of a storm. It's giving me that kind of vibe. Not even gonna lie, I kinda like Jupiter, and in a way, I could see that being calming to me. Anyways, let's move on to Jupiter's good old friend, Europa. No one said I would look at a planet that looks like static and hear static. This is literally just a broken TV from the 1980s. I mean, it's really creepy, because you can hear like this bob, bob, bob sound. Sounds like it's coming from something natural. But the rest of it sounds so unnatural that it sounds like a computer dying. Or it sounds like that scene where someone's in a coma, and they've just crashed their car or something. There's even like screaming and garbling noises in the background. What's that about, Europa? I'm not getting an answer, so I'm just gonna leave it to the next moon. I'm gonna leave it to my good old friend Ganymede. When did I ask for the exact same thing with high-pitch aliens talking, Ganymede? Come on, Ganymede. I wanted something different. You look so gosh darn cool. I wanted something different, but you just gave me static with an alien talking. Io, this ugly looking moon. Apparently it has the most volcanoes on it in the entire solar system. So let's hear what this erupting planet has to say. Oh my gosh, you're so ugly. Just say it already, Io. Come on, I don't really want to stare at you that long. I mean, in a way, I can hear a weird gonging noise. Don't know if that's just me, it's very faint. But for the majority of that sound, it's pretty calming. It's not even wind, it's kind of like static, like still. Not like static garbled noise, but like, it's very still compared to the others. That I'm surprised that it's not moving, or reverberating, or like bouncing off the walls or anything. So, not even gonna lie, Io, for an ugly planet like you, that ain't a bad sound. I think that's pretty good. Alright, my good dotty friend Castillo, let's hear you. Not even gonna lie, I don't know if it's just me, but I really love those summer nights where it's just getting dark and you can see the light sort of shining through your window and you're just in your bed. And everyone else is asleep, and it's just gone like 9 p.m, but it's still light outside. This is giving me that kind of vibe, but it sounds like an air conditioning fan or something that I would have on during that kind of night. I love summer nights. It's pretty much the only thing I like about summer, because summer is horrifying. Anyways, let's move on to another moon, because Castillo ain't got much to say. So yeah, let's move on to our next moon, Amalthea. Hello Amalthea, long time. You kinda look a bit like Mars. You like a cousin or something? Okay, Mr. Minecraft Cave Sounds, I'll leave that to you, I guess. Yeah, Amalthea just sounds like Minecraft Cave Sounds, mixed with a dying computer again. Okay, the more I listen to it, it sounds like that cave sound where it's just like a reverberating scream. It kind of sounds like that. Alright, let's move on to my buddy Metis. What you sound like. It literally just sounds like a robot trying to start up. Yeah, that in my opinion just sounds like a robot rebooting. Alright, let's move on to our... Is this our final... No, this isn't our final moon. We're still going. Let's move on to Himilia. Another Jupiter moon. Let's see how Himilia sounds. Again, dying computer from the 80s. All of these sound like dying computer sounds, but this one... Holy hell, this one sounds the most like a dying computer sound. What have we even got next? I don't even want to hear this. Alright. Hopefully Saturn gives me a different vibe that I can chill out to. Oh my gosh, Saturn's screaming. Saturn. Chill out, man. What are you screaming for? Really, I expected that from Jupiter, man. Those rings are uncompensating for something. The souls of the dead lost in you is just like, you're haunting us. Your rings, they're mesmerizing. Oh my gosh. Just stop screaming. I can still hear it now. No. I am not gonna listen to more of this, because it will give me nightmares. Alright, here's my boy Triton. You know, the one they found literally everything Earth has on it. And it's basically a better version of Earth where humans haven't taken over. Yeah, let's listen to Triton. I actually kind of like this one. It's got a melody to it. Sounds like the beginning of a song, you know, or like the beginning of a rave. That's really cool. That was really unexpected as well. I didn't expect a full-on song from Triton over here. Holy heck. Alright, now we got my boy Enceladus. Haven't heard you in a long time. Sadly, they don't have Mimas. It sounds like popcorn. It sounds like popcorn popping, but in a frigid, cold, Arctic place. Like a polar desert, right? Image a microwave with popcorn popping in it in a polar desert. That's kind of what Enceladus sounds like. Anyways, let's move on to Uranus. Oh my gosh. Let's move on to Uranus, shall we? I can't wait to hear what Uranus sounds like. It looks so good. Hey. It's wind. Uranus is windy. Not even gonna lie, I didn't expect much from Uranus. But I knew it was gonna be windy. Just like a real anus. Oh my gosh, it's a weird day under the blanket today. Now we've got Uranus's good friend Miranda. It's a girl. Since when have I ever expected the alien music to kick in at any second? Why did it sound like alien music was just gonna kick in? I'm sorry, I've watched way too many science fiction movies. Now, let's move on to my favorite blue whirlwind, Neptune. Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I love Neptune. So let's just hear what this lovely blue royal planet has to say, shall we? Not even gonna lie, this is the most calming it's got. Neptune sounds really cool. It sounds like... it actually sounds soothing. Compared to the others, at least. Not even gonna lie, Neptune is the best so far. Like, I could actually vision myself falling asleep to this. This is really calming. You got all the others, like, screaming and making computer noises. Well, Neptune's just like a calming rainforest. I would actually fall asleep to this. Anyways, let's stop me nerding out about my favorite blue whirlwind and just move on to its moon. My good buddy Triton. My good pal. Let's see how it sounds, shall we? See what melodies Triton's got for us. And it's Disc 11 from Minecraft. I've already heard this before. Heavy breathing and a broken record sound, pretty much. It's so sad that Neptune has to deal with this horrible sound throughout its lifespan, man. Already takes 164 years to get around the sun anyway. That's just so long. Even if it isn't a planet, let's just hear what Pluto has to say. You know, finally, we have Pluto. No, not for me, not for me, not for me. Aliens are on the planet the same size as Australia. Not even gonna lie, there are some immediate trends I can make out from these sounds. 1, this is awesome. 2, this is also great. And 3, there's gonna be so many jokes about how I can not stop staring at Uranus. And 4, there's a strange pattern I've started to notice here listening to these sounds. For the planets that sound scary, the moons sound calming, but the planets that sound calming, the moons sound scary. Like, is that just me? Or is that pattern emerging for others too? Like, a few I was quite surprised by how they sounded. Like, who knew Pluto was a nuclear war zone and Saturn was a screaming devil? And with that, I'm officially scared of Pluto and Saturn. But not gonna lie, the others sounded pretty dope. I'll know what I'll be using for white noise from now on. So anyway, yeah, that was my deep dive into space. Maybe one day I'll learn more and make a part 2 if this kicks off. Now I'm gonna go hide from screaming. Hey, Saturn. Maybe we should talk. No! No! No!